Hello everyone and welcome to Just the Podcast. It's not the film for Money Pit. I'm going to press play now. Yeah, I'm pressing play now. The DVD actually just plays straight away. This is one of the Universal ones. So it's interesting actually. I would put Money Pit on Arrow. I would seriously, Arrow Video needs to look at Money Pit because obviously they did The Burbs. Now, I'm full of cold. So I've got a coffee. I don't normally drink coffee these days. I just need to kick me up as we start in Rio de Janeiro, which is an amazing shot. Kind of looks a bit like a matte painting there. Might be, can't be, maybe it is. I actually had to go and see the Taylor Swift movie last night. It's the only time I'm going to mention it, but you know, what you can get on film these days, it's just unbelievable. But then you're like, what's real? But this is what's classic about this movie. So this is my original Tom Hanks movie as a kid. Had it taped off television. Didn't really own it on VHS or DVD till very late on in collecting because it just seemed to be quite rare. It didn't seem to be there. It's maybe because it's got a shockingly shit VHS cover. And then the Blu-ray is a little bit better now, as it has been released on Blu-ray. Tom Hanks, Shelley Long, Soul signed House Phone Again. It's the same picture, you normally see them like on top of a house and stuff like that. Has been reissued as a 12, which maybe is a reason it disappeared for a while, you know, because, you know, I think originally it was a 15, and then, you know, it's a bit too raunchy and it has a few bits and bobs for it to be a PG. As a kid, it was the movie The House Fell to Bits, and when you watch it now, there's just so much going on in the background, especially here, and you know, there's so much little details going on here, like the messages, the debt, even like the tax things. I mean, I didn't even understand who Tom Hanks' character was as a kid. It was just, it's the house that falls to bits, you know. And starts off full on 80s. I mean, it is a Steven Spielberg presentation. And as we open up on Manhattan again, look at that. You know what I mean? It's like a time-lapse shot. It has a pounding song at the start. We can build a house. Do, 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 do. And now I understand the frustrations of buying a house as well, especially when buying my own house these days. But some great footage of New York here as well. And you know, as time would go on, Burbs would become my favourite film of Tom Hanks. I just absolutely love The Burbs. And then it'd be Money Pit, and then I think You Got Mail. So again, it's like Tom Hanks and New York 5, where You Got Mail as well. So, and then I would have to start to think about what I liked after that. Because a lot of people's go-to would be Saving Private Ryan, Big. You know, he's been so much, man. Castaway, Forrest Gump. But this will be my second. And this was my original love. So this is one of the reasons I like Tom Hanks. And that's why I love The Burbs so much. Because it just like, he's very similar in character. Like, he just, you know, he's playing, he didn't want to play a father in The Burbs. But like, in this, he's playing like, you know, a go-get-em kind of guy. And obviously, Pimped House thing. I didn't enjoy that film with Catherine Kennedy. It's the people who made Jurassic Park. Do you know what I mean? It's the same production people on it. So again, it's a weird one why it has fell into obscurity and Arrow hasn't went for it yet. It's because The Burbs did really well. The Steelbook's quite sought after. I still think and hope that The Burbs is going to get a 4K and they actually bulk it up. But like stuff like Tremors and then Tremors 2, so they've got a really good development. So I'm recording this on the 16th of October. 2023, so let's see where we go from here with The Burbs, Money Pit coming out on Arrow. But the Blu-ray itself has no extra features. It has a making of and a theatrical trailer. It has nothing on the DVD, because I watched the DVD the other day and then pulled out the Blu-ray of this. It's very slim light package. For anyone who's deeply in love or deeper in debt, a Richard Benjamin film, a comedy that brings down the whole house. Yeah, so in America, I know when you buy a house in New Zealand, it's a lot different to England, because in New Zealand you've just got to go, right, I want to buy that house. It's pretty much how it works. 2 seconds, I'll have a drink of coffee as the workers come in. You're still here, but he's back. 2 seconds. Apologies, I need it for my throat. It's just like barging into his house. Obviously, like, I can relate to this now as well, you know, it's like, when I split with my marriage, I stayed in the house for a couple of years until I needed to move. It's hard to get going. It's hard to like look at where I want to go, and like, you know, it's not just, you know, financially and all that. It's more the case of living with echoes and ghosts and stuff like that, and you just want to move on. And I think that's why they've struggled there. It's she's got with this new guy, Walter. What is Walter? You know, she was married to this very famous pianist who was obviously Alex Grubenheimer, whatever you call him, the baddie from Die Hard, and obviously the only other film I think I've seen him in is North. And Shelley Long, I don't think I've seen Shelley Long in anything else. But this guy was all over the place as well, so... but you again see it on the wall there, you see all the stuff signed by artists, and like, again, he's into the music scene. He's like obviously a publicist, he's a manager, he's, you know, he's a lawyer, he does all the tax stuff and all that, and it's you know, there's a lot going on in it as well. But like, again, like, moving on, it just takes so long. You're looking at places, and then to get a mortgage, man, it was crazy, because getting mortgages and stuff, you know, you've got to save the deposit. But how do you save the deposit when you're renting? You know, that's the long haul of trying to buy a house. You know, like, I think gone are almost the generations of houses being passed down of families, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, that seemed to be the thing in the 50s and the 60s era, and then maybe it's in the 80s now. It just seems to be like stuff's getting like acquired. Recently I had to clear out my grand's house, and she'd been in there 53 years and never bought the house. I was like it's just crazy. So as the start of the movie, it builds a lot of foundation. You get to really know the situation they're in. They haven't left their apartment yet. You know, he's like, you know, you get this idea that this whoever this guy is, but as a kid you're just like, oh, let's wait till like let's wait, and then let's wait, and then again, subtle things like here, when you don't see the guy who's going to try and sell the house, but there's a donut. He's got the pacemaker on his hand that you see a little later on. You realise you just look, even stuff where he's showing you the houses, and there'll be little details. Like, it's just said this sandbox call. It's got like, there's so much detail in the prop department. And I still can't believe I've never done a podcast for Money Pit. He's here. She's like, proper, you're hysterical. So again, passionate things of like an orchestra as well. I think the music plays quite a bit in this movie. It's not a score I would buy though. You know, he comes. You know, see the famous piece. He's like an Andre Rieu before Andre Rieu was really a thing. I mean, Andre Rieu's been around for decades, but he's got almost the mullet going on there. He's a great bad guy. I think he's a good actor. He just seemed to disappear really. And it's a bit in here, it's like, I hope you choke. And it's just like, how sinister are you? But like, then he seems to be a nice guy, but then, like, you know, conflicted as well, because like there's a bit later on where he confesses that he didn't sleep with her, and, you know, that kind of thing, and then he pushes for them to get together, and then at the end he's going crackers. I've just been waving my hands around. You can't even see me. It's an audio podcast. You know, and he's happy for it. And again, it wraps it up. But it's a Spielberg film in the 80s. You know what I mean? It's Batteries Not Included era, Gremlins era. And then we get the rock band. Like, and he's got his headphones on, and then it's obviously here, it's all about like, you know, you get an insight to his job and what she's doing. She's, you know, playing along. She's just getting raw footage in the background. Get the smoke machine on the go. Look, I mean, if Arrow got it right, and that cosmic pink smoke that's just brushed past Tom Hanks's suit there and all that. If you've seen Heathers, the cosmic purple treatment they did on that looks stunning. So this is a good one for Arrow. I know Arrow like getting a bit strange. I've actually got 2 Arrows in front of us to watch. Actually, I've got Lover's Lane to watch, and I've just recently watched 2 out of the 3 of Sonny Chiba's Street Fighter, which were absolutely bonkers. And I was by the second one, I was a bit pissed, and I remember sending a picture to Mitch, and just when the eyes popped out of how over the top it got. But I loved them. I loved the score. I loved, like, you know, I love you know, thinking out of shots, you know what I mean, and like getting the angles down and stuff like that. And it's where you get a lot of passion for these films. You got like, you know, storyboards and obviously some stuff now is so green screen, but even here on the track, you know, film on top of New York, it's got the New York vibe, you know what I mean. Here we are running along the rooftops. I'm sure this is the same guy who pops up in a few Adam Sandler films as the it almost feels like he's the creepy wrestler guy from one of Billy Madison or something. I think so. That obviously all the this one of the extras comes past here. I think it's this guy coming on the right, and I think he kind of looks at the camera, and because he's kind of like, do I take over or not take over, right? And he just completely looks at the camera and turns his head. But sweatbands on, like, fair play to him if you can do that. Well, yeah, again, inner city stuff. Oh, there's a Twin Towers behind as well, just subtly in the top of the screen there. So it's again, you know, again, sound as well. Obviously going on the pattern, and obviously now it seems to have pumped in here. That bit of audio there seems there. Twin Towers back in the background as well. And obviously the confession that he's got a heart problem, and the cocky ambulance guy. Yeah, I can now lift him in on the van his own. So yeah. So he's trying to sell him this house. He's a bit crooked. Again, looking at houses, buying houses. The house I bought, the woman was in Ireland. I never met the woman I bought the house off. And it was kind of like, I felt rushed into it. I remember when my mum and Brit came to see the house, and we just came out of lockdown 2 or lockdown 1. It was lockdown 1. And Mum was like, you gotta go and see this house. Brit was like, you gotta see this house. And of course, if you don't know, my house is a floating freehold. So essentially I own half of next door. So like, of all the rooms and that, when you're walking through it up and above next door. And like, Cheryl and Stephen, my neighbours, are awesome, you know what I mean. It's just, you couldn't ask for better neighbours. But like, you know, when I go around theirs, I look and go, like, you know, my room is completely over your living room, and it's like, yeah, you've stole one of our rooms and stuff. And I went, well, I haven't, it's mine. But it's so weird. It's a weird divide. I think like there was an offer in for my house, and I think there's a company that own a lot of the houses around here that do you know, like, I think next door they're the same company. There's a few. I think they must have put a low ball offer in, so we came back with a better offer, and they got accepted straight away. And again, it was lockdown and COVID, so it went so fast because she wanted it gone. Solicitor, he wanted it gone, and then the only hiccup was Nationwide, who have been great, but they were literally trying to like cancel everything because they didn't want it. You know what I mean? So we got it in the right time. But yeah, buying a house can be so frustrating. I mean, we looked at 3 or 4 houses, England and New Zealand, before this, and it was crazy. Some people's houses and how you look at them and view them, and like an estate agents as well was oh, look at this house, look at that house. Now here comes a nice little twist here. Obviously, the bands have just turned up dressed as all as women, and they want to change the name of the band, and it just shows you how hectic it can be, work with bands and stuff like that, and people doing different things, especially in the New York area. I think that's quite a, you know, making in New York, there's a lot of venues and stadiums and tours and stuff like that. But again, it's kind of like getting out there, but a lot of people think to make it, you got to do New York. Obviously, there's a lot of famous venues in New York for just music. And you got the random guy in the background with a cello. So obviously he's there. He wasn't with the bass, he's looking right at the camera. Well, obviously I look at the camera. Want to change the name of the band? No. I think 2 people who were very similar at the time, and I think maybe I'm not saying he was offered this, but someone you could see replacing Tom Hanks in this movie is Steve Guttenberg. I think they've got very similar characteristics. I thought that as a kid. And obviously they brought the commute out of town, and this again feels like very much a bit like Friends as well, you know, you've got that hectic life going on there of the apartment life, and then, you know, the commute out to the Gellers houses or whatever, like even like in How I Met Your Mother, where, you know, the commute out across the river and into the greener areas of the New York State, and you do get places like this. Taxi driver's gone, and there she goes, blood-sucking lawyers. So still, we're quite far into this movie. There's a lot of foundation. There's a couple of, you know, funny bits, you know, a lot more in the script. But I don't think you see where this film's going to go until the house becomes the central character. You know, because at the moment it's like, oh yeah, look. And it's like, yeah. And you don't really get her method, you know, because later on she appears, and it's just, but again, it's the 80s. You see a lot of films like this. Crocodile Dundee comes to mind when I think of this movie. Excuse me, The Lost Boys. These are films you would see, and you would have them either taped off television, or you would have a sell-through, or you would have a Howard the Duck that didn't have the box artwork, and you would re-watch these films because that's what you did. You know what I mean? Like, you only had, I got taught a while ago, but like, people don't realise in England they had 4 channels, and Channel 5 was a big fucking deal. And Sky wasn't really a thing until, I would say, the early 90s for me. I know when I creeped around and stuff. But like in New Zealand, I remember when I was in New Zealand, it just had so many channels, but like the video shops and stuff, there was so much vast more range, and I don't understand why. I mean, again, they are close to Japan and America, but, you know, we're just as close to America and Japan in a way. But there's just different trends and stuff like that. But like, I think in New Zealand, you know, renting and all that, there is still a few places out there that rent because of the territory of the mountains and stuff, and like the, you know, people like films still, you know what I mean? And then she plays a good part here, you know. She's gonna sucker them right in, you know. Don't use the bathroom. I've got personal things in there. Very clever. Don't go to the bathroom because it's fucked. You know, the bed. Don't sit on the bed, like, get kind of thing, or throw the bed in, and just unload and get the money outright, you know what I mean? But again, it's like, I don't know, like the whole, in a way, how you would do it, the equity. I was out with one of my friends playing pool a few nights back, and he's, you know, he's doing really well for himself. We used to live together, and him and his wife are looking to buy another house and stuff, and he's got it all worked out. And even after about 10 and 15 minutes of him talking about it, I lost track about 5 minutes into it, and I was just like, so much you've got to think about, you know what I mean? Because like, I remember when I walked in this house, and we'd bought it now, and I pulled the wallpaper off in the living room, and all the plastic came off, and I was like, wow, brilliant. So we had to get Dan, and Dan's pretty much plastered my entire house, like literally, and that was something we didn't see coming. But again, we got Stevie to give it a rewire kind of thing, the boxes and all that, and I always remember laughing, saying it comes with a carpet. The carpet, right, had a massive hole in the top of the stairs, and it was rank, and honestly, the carpet was minging. The carpet company only took it away because I actually know the boss and the supervisor of the company. I was just like, right, I'll come, because it says we'll get the entire, you know, we'll get all 4 upstairs rooms carpeted and the stairs, but you're taking the carpet. The guy turned up, and there was a bit of kerfuffle because he brought the wrong carpet for the room. He's like, this is the room that's got the purple carpet, because everything else is the same, but I wanted a purple carpet. And I went, no. He went, no, this is the room. I was like, well, it's my house, mate. In my room, I kind of know which one's meant to be purple, and it's definitely this one. And he had this right paddy, and he went out chucking stuff in the van. So and again, I don't think he realised I knew the guys, and I was just like, rang them and says, what the fuck's wrong with your guy? And I told them, and they're like, oh, fuck's sake, we'll sort it. And then they were like, right, you're definitely fucking taking the carpet now. And I never seen that guy again, like, so. And again, it's one of those things where, unless you're going to get a surveillance, you know, a survey done and roofs and stuff like that, and why somebody would sell it. I mean, it is a question of this. Why would they sell it? And he even says, who knows? bed dead, neighbour is deaf, tax evasion and all that. Like, so he literally, in that one line, like a couple of lines of dialogue, you know, as the audience would watch it going, why would the fuck sell that house that much? Where's the joke? Because it is kind of grounded. And then he gets overexcited about the train. I don't know who you are. So there's little things I still don't get. I mean, he's, train. But even there, look, I love the shot that Tom Hanks is just deadpan as they go past and the whole train goes past. Probably nowadays, they probably would have cut. Crazy ass fucking bodyguard. And he's the pop icon. He's almost like the Harry Styles kind of character here. Benny, you shout at me. He's smoking, like a kid smoking as well. So, again, this is like 80s, 15, 12. It maybe was a PG. Floating stairs, I like that, even though they're absolutely tiny on the side there. Kind of looks like the kid from Neverending Story, but it's not. It's not the kid from Neverending Story, because I just fucking worked with him recently. I would have went, are you in Money Pit? Let's see what else the kid... I think the kid nails it, actually. Noah was the guy's name from Neverending Story. 1986. I would have been 3 when this was made. Wow. Oh, no wonder I haven't seen Alexander Gunfar and anything else. He died in 1995, so roughly around the same time North was finished. That's it. I probably knew he was dead. That Josh Mossel. It is the guy from Billy Madison as well. Ethan. So there's a kid playing ping pong at the start. He was in Police Academy 4. The kid on IMDb's got to be Betty, isn't he? It's called Betty. Betty! You shout at me! The Mover /1, 2, 3, 4. The Lady, Walter, Carlos. Fuck me! William Lombardo is Benny. Unrecognisable almost. It's a recent IMDb picture. Look at hell. It's a recent IMDb picture, and he's only been in Imaginary Friends in 2022. He's done nothing since Money Pit. So he's only did 4 things. So he obviously pursued other options. So here we go. The house starts. As he can fix that, he comes out with a fucking a fucking paddle. A paddle in a box. And as this is the start of unboxing, sorting through people's stuff. She's about to get stuck in the bed here. Lovely bed though, look at the pillows. One of the biggest mistakes we did, and Brett will hate this if you ever listen to this, is the bed we bought. It's got these tail ends and like they stick out, and we just couldn't really find the right. He began with a door. He gets electrocuted. This first thing. Bzz, bzz, bzz. There's a load of practical stuff. That is just so funny. You know what I mean? There's no CGI there. That is just like Tom Hanks and reacting that. And that's like almost one take before the next setup. She's stuck in the bed. Yeah, both of us. The fucking door falls down. And then I think what's the best thing about this is when he fixes the door and walks her back, and then. I mean, I never got this idea of how he's trying to fix the steps with the L bit sticking up. Plaster starts coming down. Yeah, anyway, the bed in the bedroom, honestly, you have to walk sideways past it. And it's kind of weird, like when this is the bedroom we've picked for the bedroom out of the 4 fucking bedrooms, and the bed we've picked isn't really. It would be all right if it didn't have the end of the bottom of the bed. And I've recently got a really bad heel, and I think I've kicked that bed in my sleep. Because I end up moving down the bed. So it's one thing I would change with the bed. There you go. Again, You don't see it happening. It's just Tom Hanks showing how good he is, and like that's what you do. Goes in there, but it's like Trippin has it 101 on there. You know, it just starts. It just stands on the next step, and foot goes through it. Yep, here comes the water. Oh. Kind of like trying to... Oh, look at the shower behind it. It's almost like... It's just... If you can see the shower in the background, it's just like... Oh, it's not going to be there. She's like hiding outside the door, though. It was just almost like a cryopod from a spaceship with a shower thing. But I honestly don't know. I can't think of anything else I've seen Shelley Long in. She's still alive. Oh, she was in Cheers. Brady Bunch. She's in the cleanup. That wasn't the one I watched with Samuel Jackson. Road Trip. Oh, she does a lot of these TV movies by the looks of it. Family Guy, one episode. Films I've never heard of. Boston Legal. Santa Trap. She's worked Iron Officer's Murder. She's worked. Well, as I say, I think it's a bit here. The door goes fucking back out of there. Nothing, dear. Cheers. Oh, she was in 123 episodes of Cheers. So hence why she would have probably been a part of this. The fucking raccoon comes here. I've always wanted a raccoon. And that and the Great Outdoors as well was a film I seen about this time, and it's just that, yep, it's working. Walks out. And then, boom. It's just so funny. And again, it's Tom Hanks's legit reactions on stuff. I think it works really well. There you go. Fucking raccoon. Savage raccoon. And then he goes the stairs. Great, like stunt work. I think it's really well edited as well. Obviously she's got the raccoon on it, and like you feel the fall. You don't see the fall, you feel it. You know, jumps up there, boom. Again, now with CGI and stuff like that, the stairs are out. How do you rub my fingers? Even though like you just feel it, knowing how he lands. See, if you're gonna like remake it, and then we're gonna try a remake, I would maybe probably do this a couple of years ago. It would have been if you put Johnny Knoxville as Tom Hanks' character, and you know, just maybe somebody who had been on telly quite often as a female, and then a lot of the stunts would have been proper stunts. Like, I mean, these are stunts, but you could see, like, you know, it's a well structured story. I mean, the joke here coming, like, it's not going to get any worse, and it's about the thunder and lightning. Again, as well, practical sex, you know, sets. Fucking light, and the water comes down. And then the idea of just like keep the scene going and have the light flickering, and then the water. It's such a good film, like. But for 91 minutes as well, I think it's quite fast paced. If it was done now, I think they'll probably stretch it to 2 hours, easy. You know, you look and you got, right, fair enough, that's just in the foreground, you got that one in the background there. But here, lady, I think I'm going to die. Like, 2 people carrying that up the ladders, and I'm thinking, is there not considering the size of the house, another way upstairs. So I'm trying to get the logistics of this house now, because the door is in the middle, isn't it? But like, to me, this is the centre of the house. Is there not another floor at the other side? And here he comes. Joe Montana. One of my favourite film seasons, obviously Airheads. Also was in Baby Stay Out before he really got into Criminal Minds, but also famous for being the voice of Fat Tony in The Simpsons, as well as a few other characters. Hey, that's my wife! Pants on. Yo, the old Henry. And the link between the brothers as well, playing the same song as well. But yeah, that's where the ladders are, so yeah, I'm just trying to work out the logistics of the house there, because obviously you go in the front door like he has, and there would be the staircase going to the left. Oh. He's got an excellent voice, like. I think we spoke on the phone. Again, all the people who come round, quotations, doors. We got front door put back on, but I think we had 2 or 3 guys. And it's just crazy where you get people come in and go, right, this, and you go, right, okay, get the next guy, and you go, and then you get the next guy, and like, how can it differ for the same thing, the prices? And you've got to shop around, especially the doors. But like Dan Connor came in and just does absolute solid on the plastering. Because it was a massive work, and he's absolutely machined Dan. And then obviously one of the walls, which again, when I said a floating freehold, so the wall bends round in the next door, and it's and obviously, so the wall's got this doorway in, which should theoretically would have never been there, and the wall is a bit fragile in a way, so we couldn't hang anything on it, so Glenn came and painted the wall. Did you really buy this house? Yes, I did. And they go off laughing. Like, what are they doing? Just snooping around. And here we go, the turkey. 2 people are going to eat a massive turkey. It's going to make me feel hungry. There's a lot of, everything I've seen now, the bedroom before now and this shot there, they're like the dirt on the walls of like where a picture or the pots and pans probably were here. To make it look old. So yeah, the staircase goes up to the left. He's saying that there, and then you've obviously got the rooms down there, and then the smell and fire. Because the reason why I say this is for the shot in a bit. So he's run off to the right, because the turkey goes flying across the property, didn't he? So I'm looking forward to see that, because that cannot be the only stairwell upstairs, because obviously going up the ladders is a struggle with the water, and like when they get stairs, we have stairs as the relief. I might not end up watching Cheers eventually, because Feldman's in it, but the box set's never been cheap enough to buy for my collection. I'm not spending £90 for Corey Feldman to pop up in one episode, and it's probably going to be dead tiny like he normally is in a small role, like he was in Mork and Mindy. No water. So there's the kitchen. Sorry, I am loaded. I need to blow my nose. Ugh. The choice. So there's the bed company's there. The door, they've got a different door on now. But again, look, the stairs is outside. It's like, you know, they could have just said, oh, the stairs was there, so where's the stairs? The stairs are now there. I mean, I don't think I've ever fucking realised the stairs are there until I do these podcasts. And license plate New York 1, and then the music keeps playing. You gotta be me. But yeah, front door there. Am I going to get outside this house? Practicing the violin, big old fireplace. See there, right? So there's another room at the far of the corridor with the checkered floor there. That looks like a door to the outside, because you can see lateral light coming through there. So does that not have an up? Oh yeah, the bee thing. with the trees. Even the trees are rotten. But again, she's playing the music, violin, you know what I mean, and he's just fighting off with the bees, the wasps, and stuff like that. But I don't think Tom Hanks really does as much of this comedy anymore. I think, like, you know, he got his foot in here, the fucking prostate joke as well, you know what I mean? There's so many. That's quite funny as well, because he obviously has prostate problems, and Green Mile, doesn't he? Like, say for example, doing films like Green Mile and all the serious ones like Bedellum Road or whatever the one that was called, Saving Private Ryan. I still got to put You Got Mail up there, just like, you know what I mean. There goes the tree. Weak trees. There's another painting that, you know what I mean. And there's like, that seems to be the theme on all the walls. Weak trees. Weak trees? Weak trees. There's the brother. Doorbell just rings. Don't let it ring again. And then they walk in, walk out. Plumbing, we've been alright with plumbing because the bathroom's downstairs. Just need to get the bathroom finished. So yeah, plumbing and all that, yeah, it's cool. Funny story is, in the flat we're in, it was great timing because the heating broke, and we had to move out of the flat into here. And when the guy came to look, he came in the end room there, and he was like, "My God, I see all this is going to have to go." And I was like, "Well, that forced us to move quicker, because we initially wanted to move into the house in phases, you know, because I think we had the house about 3 or 4 months before we actually spent the full night in it. As actually, right, we now live here, but that was a proper Kickstarter. Go on, like, write me a check now, £5 grand, and get your whiskey. There we go. So he's catching the water in the bucket, and then they're carrying the water up. But there, look at it, the house there, see the size of it behind them, and then they're up. Why wouldn't you just do one at a time? But credit the actors. I mean, there's no fucking green screen or anything there, like. Smoochy, smoochy. Big kissing. Is that someone cutting the lawn? That's what I had to do today. Cut the grass up here in the living room. This woman reminds me of who pops. There's more paintings. Obviously heating the water. And he sits down. And boom. I love this. Again, great practical effect. The tiles coming off. It's, you know what I mean? Tom Hanks is like, he's in on it now. And Blender goes on. And Blender just starts instantly melting, like it's just turned into Ghostbusters. Oh, your popcorn's going as well. And then it falls it into the cupboard. And then take the kettle on the TV. And then it's just that memorable wait, right? Wait for it. Sharp. Aye. Oh yeah, and here comes the turkey. Fan comes down, sucks all the air up, blows the pilot light out. And it's just the fact that where the turkey just boom is locked, right? So it goes out the window. See, look, there's the door. Considering there's a third floor in this, I think maybe 5 windows on the upstairs floor, and that goes across from the right side to the left side of the house that bows out of the side. Why isn't there a next staircase? Oh, turkey's done. I know it's just a movie. I don't think we should ever go back there again. And then obviously the bath is about to die as well. Another great practical effect though. Porcelain as well. And then Tom Hanks just cracks. But stuff like that, I think sometimes when I've said to people Tom Hanks, some people don't like Tom Hanks, and it's maybe the way he does stuff like that, but that's his niche. You're either going to like it, you don't like it. It's like with me. You like me, you don't like me. You can't please everyone. You know what I mean? This characteristic is about everyone. It's like chemistry. It's, it's a mix of colours and all the elements of life. You know what I mean? It just depends on how stuff flows on that. And then here, is it acting or overacting? And he's like, is he stressed or he's just like, save yourself. In the big ass fucking chair they've got. But again, at the time, the rise of people like Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler, Ben Stiller, they weren't even on this thing for now. And I think like Ben Stiller did a very similar film called Our House, or in America it's called Duplex, with Drew Barrymore. So again, essentially it could be seen as a sensual inspired remake. Danny DeVito directed it. It's again set in New York, and they buy a duplex house, and basically it comes with a tenant who's an old lady, and she's just a menace. You know what I mean? Absolute menace. And there's a lot of heart and soul in it. But again, that would be, casting Ben Stiller with Drew Barrymore, where you go, in that kind of era. Drew Barrymore being with Adam Sandler quite a few films, and it's like that kind of the pairing. So, because I think these are quite an unorthodox pairing. I think again with Shelley Long not being so well known for anything in the UK, I'll say away from Cheers. Cheers was massive at the time, but she has faded into obscurity. Looking at her IMDb, she works steady, but it's the film's going to sell on Tom Hanks being the star of it now. You know what I mean? And even the front cover, it's a good photo, but it's heavily been photoshopped, but nicely packaged. But again, I still think Arrow should grab it. We're about halfway through, I would say. We're about to get the workmen coming in, which is the next step where they come in and start wrecking the house. Production wise, I could see them just like buying a house that was maybe in disarray at the time, or it's easy enough to get the land, and here comes the gang. Again, screams totally 80s, Mad Max kind of vibe, and the fact that it were all the different cars and stuff, and there's a little guy in the little cars. It's crazy. It's like the Misfit gang. It's just so like it just like what? But again, this is where it gets into that comedy era. You know what I mean? It's kind of took a bit of a change. Wood rot and cremations. The new door. The car's still there. I fucking don't know. Like, there's loads of little men and like little buggies. Like, what would you do? Like, there's a Bigfoot van. We work today. Ferris Bueller's another film of this era, you know, that I was like seeing, you know, you get these collections of films. Look at all the dominatrix stuff going on, man. A lot of extras. It's a lot of extras. That's a lot of noise going on before. Look at that. Look at like there, for example, right? Carrying another small man, hanging it off the ladder and stuff like that. It's expecting to see like Bam Bam Bigelow or somebody like just randomly in there, like he is in there's at Joe's apartment, like a couple of wrestlers, because some of them guys are absolutely pumped. Mohawks. Just start ripping the fuck out of the house. There you go. Just fucking again build a set. I mean, even that there, like you build a house and then do you destroy it at the end and stuff like that, and I think it's well done. And then again, practically shot in New York. You know, it's not Canada. Obviously setting up the cameras and stuff like that. Oh, there's a weird. It's actually on the disc. If you are watching it, just below the Dollar Dry Duck, there was a weird mark on the screen, and it wasn't just on the wall because that's it. It's on the glass. Obviously, it's filmed through glass. It's filmed in the restaurant. So again, they've walked across the street. They've panned it around it, and then he's into looking at cars there. How do I look in this? I mean, I'm not sure what I would feel about like if I lived in New York having a car, because it just seems to be absolutely like, you know, public transport seems to be just the key. Would you happen? We rip the hell out of it. He reminds me of Hudson Hawk's friend, Eddie. No, Eddie? No, Hudson Hawk's Eddie. Danny Alti or whatever he's called. Just fucking shit everywhere in there. The fucking pickaxe. That's what you're gonna do though, Gunnar. I've worked on a few projects like that before, where you know, you go in, you see it, and then you next thing you know, it's just shit everywhere. And then before you realise, you can't even remember how it was because it's been done. But then painful bits in the middle, money wise. But obviously he's good at his job. I was just looked there as well about like the price and that. And in the end of the day, about it though, it's not about the house, it's about the happiness, and I think that's where the film flips, where, you know, the house is that much strain and that much pressure of a house and fixing things. I mean, me and Brit's been through that with the bathroom, you know, the bathroom's something that we need to work on, and you just need to bow it down, but like, it can be bearable then, before you know it, it's done, you know? Like, I can't find the fucking phone, quite funny. Can you imagine that though, going in, there's fucking holes in the wall. See, that room there, to me, in logical sense, feels like it was the room where she was practicing, the fireplace. But it's just one of the many rooms because the checkered floor. Because that kind of, I don't know logically where that would be. So obviously he's waiting for the very angry permit man to come, and then he gets stuck in the floor, which again is another funny skit here. Like again though, lighting a candle so you can see. And he sets fire to it. Again, great. In on it. Oh, I just need a bit of a stretch. But it's little things there. Why do you light a candle? Well, there's no light bulb in the fucking lamp. The guy's just angry at him. Just like, who the fuck's that? And then here, he just starts to sink. Again, great practical effect. It's the acting, it's the selling as well of it. But obviously now he's like, time's gonna pass. See there, look at the house there. There's got to be another ladder up there. A fucking huge house like that. But again, when you get inside, it's all set, so. Villain! Just starts breaking the fucking door. Not help! His chest is restricted. I can hear you laughing. I'm in the den. The best thing about this though is when she comes home and you can see him in the ceiling with his feet wiggling. He's a fucking very angry guy. Rips his permit up. But again, he's just angry in general, isn't he? He's like angry and he's like, it's not foreshadowed, it's got no, I don't think he reappears. It's just like, oh fuck. Like again, it makes sense because like there's so much going on when you move in a house and stuff like that. If again you would forget about something with all going on, he forgets to pick her up from the train station. She then turns up in the most randomest fucking car you can imagine. Again, he doesn't have a mobile phone. There's a moon. Apollo 13. Again, not one of my go-to films because I don't believe we landed on the moon. That's a different story. Oh yeah, no. It's the fucking truck. Turns up this weird Beetle at some point, didn't she? See, it's weird as well because you kind of... It feels like at this time... But I think this... Because I think this is based in New Yorkish. It's that era where even in subtle roles you would see an actor that was in something else around the same time as these 80s. But it seems to be quite a... You know, a truck driver. You think, oh, it might be such and such, but it's not. Walter, she comes in the right mood. So there, you know what I mean. So the balcony goes all the way around. So there you go. You see, she can get on the other side of the house. So you have to go up the middle of the house. But it still makes no sense why there wouldn't be a secondary staircase, like from the kitchen up the passageway. You know, to cut across. And obviously, with there being a third floor, where's the access to the third floor? I'm in the... It shows you here. She's looking around. It's in the shadow. Walter? Walter? Maps there in the background, just his feet. But it's perfectly cut circles, so it kind of looks like it's where they've took out the lampshade. But again, there's the chair that he was sitting in. Get away from me. Again, it's the framing. Even the desk built, a bit of wood there, built with boxes. I remember like it's a bit really false. Again, you don't see it, you hear it and you feel it. Great sound design, and then obviously he says he feels a foot shorter. Obviously when moving, Ned hated me for all the VHSs I had, but the problem was again with the carpets getting laid, moving everything for rooms. So like, you know, the carpets got done in 2 waves because of that guy having his hissy fit about bringing the wrong size cutting for the carpet or whatever he did. And then you start to go, how are you going to see this bigger picture? Oh, here comes the fucking chimney. This is an unexpected classic bit. Can I stick a log on? Boom! That is so good. And then the suit, but it's the fact that he just goes back to bed. Good night, honey. A fucking chimney though. But see, you're getting there. Now this looks like the back of the house. 4 months later. Now that's a, you know, that was the last of the things. I mean, he does have his whole full-on Casper ghost here, as they're all perving on them. Again, another reason why this was a 15 and not a PG, I think. A lot of work going on there, and obviously they're doing the roof. I mean, imagine that, man. It's almost got like a balcony on the roof. Electric shaver. Never been an electric shaver guy. Tom Hanks, he's top off. Never had chest hair either. 40-year-old, definitely not getting it. Oh, just got a message off Mr. Theo. We've been trying to track down. Well, not track down. The funny story was, I was talking to Theo on Saturday night, and I was like, dude, like, oh, hi, we got stairs, stairs. Oh, honey, we have stairs. Yeah, Clownzilla from the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I said, oh, they need to bring that out as a big one. And next thing you know, I got an email saying, what the fuck? And then I've sent it to Theo and he's going, what the fuck? And then kind of like, this come out in Hot Topic in America, so we have stairs. My phone beeps. He's just so relieved to have stairs. Not as relieved as she's about to have running water. I love it how there's beer in there. It's not paint, it's beer. And then the bucket hits him on the head. Again, practical effect. And to be honest with you, the guy who's just said that looked like the guy who has, obviously he's been in quite a few films. This is what I was on about before. Because he's in Stay to the Left! Silence of the Lambs. He's Barney, the guy. The guy who just took the bucket, right, looks like the guy from The Bodyguard. Just randomly. in the water. Hey, you want this hallway blue? No. That's a fucking horrible blue as well. It's just some random thing. Like, have you seen Mr. Fielding for water? And then she's got water, so the lights starting to come together. So I'm going to have a look at that guy from Dumb and Dumber because, well, the bodyguard, because that looked like him chucking the bucket. Mike Starr, I'm thinking of, also in the Goodfellas. Obviously, there's a disaster getting set up here. So again, this is it. This is what I'm on about. So he's the actor who is in Bad Boys 1 and 2, which is a shame they weren't in the third Bad Boys. But he's been in quite a lot of stuff. But if you look, obviously the change in this is what sets up the skit here. Obviously he's just moved the plank of wood. God, this guy's been in loads of stuff. Mike Starr. Obviously she starts unplugging stuff. Saws are going off. And then boom, plank's gone. That didn't look like Tom Hanks there, by the way. That lands perfectly. Saw cuts. Here comes the bricks. Another paint of white paint. Full on paint in your face. That's commitment to the role, that. Oh yeah, there's like this guy here just completely stoned off his face looking at this white guy running around at the top of the, like, what? Oh, that's Mr. Shingles from The Green Mile as well, so there's another guy I was like, yeah, I was talking about before, random stuff, but yeah, Mr. Shingles. Obviously, he was also in, oh, he was, Lenny, Money Pit. So the guy who randomly took the bucket off the head was Mr. Starr. He's in the shoot bucket. Again, films like this reminds me a bit of the Goonies, where, you know, there's something set up and almost like letting Chunk in through the door, you know. Massive set piece, but again, it's like, you know what I mean, it's like Mousetrap kind of, this is what happens, like an assault course. Like that, it's just, again, going back to the whole Jackass thing. I mean, look at this. This, like, you know, he's going down there in a bucket. That stunt guy's in for it, and this is a great practical fall into it. And there it goes. Douche. So it's almost finished. And then the film starts to calm down now, I think. Let's see. They're planning and waiting for their next big show. Never been a fan of orchestras and stuff like that, but me and Jack did go see Jurassic Park and its anniversary at the stage. When they go do 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 do, and it was impressive. Brit though as well took me all the way to Manchester as a surprise to see the Goonies live with the orchestra as well, and it was great. But just before the first interval they did, everything was out of sync, and they didn't do anything to correct it. It would have been alright. It was like, oh, alright, there's a bit of it. Just something was wrong. But again, it's an interesting thing when you go and see it like that. How they do the balance with the music and stuff like that. So I've never seen an opera before. Smoking. It's the 80s. '86, man. So this was before he was a Die Hard, wasn't it? So I like how everyone clears off in the background, you know. And as much as that's set up as an opera, though, there's still a lot of like theatre based. I think a lot of these, the sets and stuff. I mean, that's a lovely location. There's fucking sirens going past. 20 to 12 in the morning. Again, walking into the darkness for a bit, still doing the conversation. That's a long shot. It's a great shot as well. And then obviously the next day she's going to wake up next to him, and this is where there's a problem. Good morning. The thing is, right, as a kid, you're watching that and you're going, how the fuck did you not realise that? And then as you get older now, you're like 2 or 3 days later, you're like, fucking hell, aye, that other night, aye, this. Especially with me. Oh, God, like, I often, when I've woke up and I've had a few beers, I'm on doing stuff, and then, like, at the moment I'm doing 2 music videos, and I'll wake up the next morning and I'll look and my camera will move and I'll be, oh no. And I mean, if you're this far in the podcast, I don't mind telling you, but here's me, like, I would say I've got help over it and stuff like that, because I've definitely got a personality shift, and there's definitely an alternative personality in me that we're trying to suppress. But like, I don't even remember filming this, and I'm talking about random stuff, and I'm like, fucking hell, like, where does this person come from? But could you be that blackout drunk, you wake up with somebody? I think everyone's had one of those nights where you wake up and you're like, oh, dear. But he's like, he plays it really well. You're not meant to like him, but I think he does a good turn. He's that fucking Beatle I was telling you about. It's like every car that seems to come up here has went from just a basic taxi to like how more ludicrous it could be. But imagine that. I mean, you could do that now with all the LEDs, but they'll have to be real bulbs. And again, the whole joke, what are they doing, testing bombs here? Obviously, again, reoccurring like jokes, the impressions. Home crap home. like, I didn't even hear him say that, but I just like... And then, yeah, that dreaded meal. But she does good to like go, shit. Problem. Candlelight. Yeah, so it gets a little bit here. So as a kid though as well, you would watch the funny bits and then you wouldn't get this. And I think that's what's great about the movie. I watched it when I did when I was a kid, and it stuck with us, it stayed with us. And I still can't believe that it hadn't had its own podcast. And Carl, we're meant to do Jaws. I mean, Jaws 3 and Jaws Revenge have been sitting here since we did Jaws 2 last January. And we pile of stuff to watch. I was out with Paul Ray last night, went to watch a Taylor Swift film. Paul's going to come back when the new Ghostbusters is done. And then Carl was just like, yeah, you get this doing. And we started making a little list, and me and Carl, I think the only time this week we're going to go and see Ian Edmondson live. So it's just one of those things where it's not just sitting down and taking the hour and a half to watch a one. It's the recording of it, it's the mastering of it, it's the uploading of it. It's just something that's, it takes time. And again, you click on it and you think, oh look, it's the film for you to watch. No, it's not. It's me talking about it. Again, waffle. Ping pong table is a thing. Forrest Gump. See, it's got a bum. And I tell you what though, in a relationship, because I've been around that, like, you know when you know. And it's the twisty road of there's a fork in the road where you didn't even accept it, and you know that or you take it head on knowing that it's going to take you down a different road here. And then there's also you actually deal with stuff like that. So it depends on how your relationship is. And I think the thing with her here is she loves him, but she's done something. But then it's her ex that's said she's done something. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's a spanner in the works. So as an audience member, you know that they love each other, but now there's this problem, and it's not just the house. And this kind of really fast tracks it to the end now, because obviously the comedy of the house is gone. It sort of flips into quite a serious drama for a bit, But again, you probably, if it was done now and they stretched it to 2 hours, you would probably see more frustration and stuff like that. But it's a feel-good movie. It's a Spielberg movie in the 80s. You slut! It just starts. Just admit it. You slut. Okay. You just bursts out. Oh my god. His fucking eyes are wide open. The dreaded half asleep conversation. Yeah, I've never been a big fan of Big, which obviously was the big one for Tom Hanks at this time. This obviously predates Big and The Burbs. You slut. See, I don't think she really holds her own ground here. Is this what I'm thinking of? Well, I mean, no, she does alright. That's maybe not what I was thinking of. There's the stairs. But then, in flip side, are there the stairs originally getting done, and then the stairs we see get destroyed at the start of the movie are the stairs that there? Because that would make sense. And I don't think, though, the thing is that the plaster has been high. So again, there's still subtle things there where the plasters have been, but yeah, in a way of a film, you're like, right, this is a set, let's build these stairs up, but they need to fall away later on. So, you've, again, planned the films. Pierre Shaker. He's obviously got hammered, slept on the fucking ping pong table. I don't think he's tried. He's got a shower cap on. I love him, how he has that banter with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence in Bad Boys 1 and 2, and I think like them not being in the third one was a bit of a shame. Like, and there's a guy who, again, he's the blue painter. He in red. She's looking a bit like oh no, what's her name? Lawanda in Problem Child 2. Problem Child 2 was another film I had, and I actually found the VHS tape when I was clearing out my grand's house. Actually, it was buried. Lawanda for that I had at that time. Look at everyone's following the argument. And this is pretty much we're coming at the end of the movie here, because they have the argument, then the house is done. The guy just staring. There's so many people in it, like. Here comes the argument. Get on. On the Raj. The guy he just walked left and back straight for the shot. I'm saying to see if I see him from Bodyguard again, the guy who chucked the bucket. Trying to keep his attention, like, but that is just stupid. She's explosive, like, get back to work. And it's just like boom. Get back to work. Right. It was this woof. When you watch films like I am now, it's always interesting if you get like a score one as well. It makes you watch outside of what's been put near there. Like on the people you watch, the people in the background, you look at stuff again with these comedies. It's why I enjoy doing them. And kind of like it fuels your passion for films, your choices wise. You're not going to know why they've done it or that, you know what I mean, but it gets there. Now we're going to have a look at IMDb for this actually, because obviously the tagline is a comedy that brings down the house, which is a pretty decent track. Here comes Max is back. Dump money. His car he bought again. You see him sitting in the car, and then he's bought the car, and then he's quite a lot established Japanese actor. He's in quite a lot of things. Richard Benjamin also directed Westworld. Yeah, this is interesting. Discarding Harry. Why was I on this guy's IMDb the other day? Ray Donovan. I was looking at Richard Benjamin the other day, I'm not sure why. Anyway, sort of see if there's anything on IMDb. He confessed that they didn't sleep together and what's that? It's pretty much in New York. Budget was 18.5 million, opening weekend 5.3, gross 37 million, worldwide gross 54 million. Now it's not bad considering that, but considering this is nearly over 40 years old now, it's made its money back, and I think again if it has a resurgence, it would still make some more money. just trying to see what the facts and figures are. Taglines for everyone who has ever been deeply in love and deeper in debt. There seems to be a lot of goofs. Ceiling plaster is clearly visible here before the plaster has fallen down. I'm not going to go for the continuity stuff. Just going to have a look at the trivia. During filming breaks, Tom Hanks liked to drive around the vintage Lincoln model. Okay, Money Pit's house, owned by the Riddler family in real life, was on the market to be sold when the movie was shooting. Bathtub falling 2 floors down after being filled with water. Tom Hanks does an octavious laugh, which is an imitation of a sea lion. The clip of him laughing is commonly used by Universal Backlot Tour when the tour guides joke with visitors. Apparently the real Hell's Angels bikers are the real Hell Angels chapter portrayed. Up, down, up, down. Yeah. There's a lot on there on IMDb you can read. Kathleen Turner was considered for the lead. German title, obviously you probably would be. Richard Benjamin, director of Money Pit, previously filmed Westworld. Sammy Vaith Jr., You Got Me, film debuts. Aye. So there, the house is done, looks lush, cosmic white. Again, how they do the staircase and the rear. Do they start like this and then go backwards? Again, it's all down to set designs and, you know, how they do it. Again, I believe this would be a set. Would make sense, you know what I mean? Because you never really see the other way. And obviously, the divided house down the middle. And again, it's a 91-minute film. I think Arrow could restore it because it looks really good, because I always watch the Blu-rays and the commentaries that I can on the sharp screen. But again, is a house that big, and obviously that's the gateway, you can go straight through and all that. Me, I don't think I like big scale. I like quirkiness. You know what I mean? Because that's a big centerpiece of the house, and you walk in and I use that a lot. You know, so this is clearly the main set we're in. So obviously we've been through a few different places, because you never really see out the back door as well. So yeah, there's the house all done. So that'll be the original house there as well. It even looks like it's got a bit on the top of the attic as well. So yeah. Now confessions are going to be made. He drives off in his little Ford. So you never really see the plumber or the carpenter again. So they're small little cameo roles. As I say, that spotting Lenny and also Mr. Shingles. Obviously, you're going to say Tom Hanks. A lot of people say Toy Story. Not my go-to. I think seriously, without looking at his we'll quickly look at his IMDb as he reflects on the step that's starting it all. I'm just going to quickly look at Tom Hanks here, because they're not going to change it. It'll be Money Pit, The Burbs, and You Got Mail. But the guy is someone who has evolved so well. I mean, top IMDb is a Castaway, Big, Forrest Gump, Captain Phillips, by Big Factory, Weapon Free. Well, he's produced a lot of stuff like Man Like Otto and the new Hologramic King. They've only just got DVD releases. They haven't even done a Blu-ray release. So he has been quite like on a bit of a flop at the minute, I would say, because you know he's a Academy Award-winning play actor as well as a million different things. But and with these new films like Seawolf and all that, or Grey Wolf, only on exclusively on Apple TV and stuff like that. That's twice I've tried to have a look at his IMDb, and it's and they're back together. Asteroid City is his newest one out. Man Called Otto, Pinocchio, that was bad. And here you go, you get everyone kind of back together for a big montage. The wedding coming out of the house. He was good in Elvis. We watched that recently. Pretty much everyone's like a big. This would be the wrap party. This you want to be at the end of because there's all the decorators. You've got Benny's there again. Obviously the rock band as well. And then the sister gets with her. Benny's mum's still giving stuff out. Benny's got milk. Happily ever together. I didn't realise he was in 1833. So again, a lot of people's watching the Amazon. See Finch, Apple TV, News of the World, Netflix. Greyhound, that was the one. So again, we can go back to Rio de Janeiro, and his dad is about to get his comeback. So his dad's obviously lost him a lot of debt. He's got his new wife, and then you meet the husband. The Post, The Circle. I wasn't a fan of the Fernals. Sully, but again, I've never seen Sully, but again, Clint Eastwood and Tom Hanks. Hologram for a King. These are stuff that have just gone there. Bridge of Spies was quite popular. Again, that's Steven Spielberg as well, isn't it? Cloud Atlas, never seen it, do own it. Larry Crow. I'm just not like reaching. Tom Hanks, I seen him recently in The Simpsons, Da Vinci Code, The Polar Express, Terminal, Lady Killers, Catch Me If You Can. I would put there in the top 10. The Thing That You Do, directed by him. I've been trying to rewatch that for a while. Forrest Gump will probably make me top 10. Bonfire Mess, Turner and Hooch, Dragnet. Yeah, I would struggle to, put together a top 5. So that's been the movie. So I hope you've enjoyed my waffle if you're still here. If not, don't worry about it. There's a Jeff Jensen there. Again, credits are rolling, featuring production crews and all that. Mike Starr actually gets his name, even though he's got a very brief appearance. The Heart Is So Willing, performed by Stephen Bishop. And that must be the song at the start. There'll not be much credits in this, and I don't think there'll be any Easter egg ending. Just the fountain still peeing. You never know though. So I'm just going to fast forward there. So yeah, the credits are hitting and rolling at 1 hour 27 minutes. So, and just black, nice font, crediting everybody. As you can probably hear the Blu-ray player just pushing the everything along. I Love Pizza. Filmed in New York studios, courtesy of camera and lenses by Panavision, colour by DU Art, prints by Deluxe, Dolby's digital sound, of course not. And then the stamps of approval at the very end. And this has been the podcast for Money Pit. And we get Amblin Entertainment right at the end. So thank you very much for listening to this. Make sure you check out the rest of the podcasts. And make sure you help support the push to get Arrow to do Money Pit.